In this video, we're going to be fixing the issues you encounter when you're trying to access the home page in the Twitter clone series with the ability to view the page when you are not authenticated. On default, if you go to exitTwitter.com, you can view the home page. So we're going to fix these errors. The first thing we want to do is in home.blade.php, we want to have an off and end off here. And that's just for the compose component. So that will essentially go ahead and fix that problem. Then secondly, we need to go into our retweet action specifically. And in here you can see we have this whole long drop down here. We want to essentially go ahead and add in an off and end off. And then what we can go ahead and do is in here is copy and paste this bit here. And we can have a guest down here and an end guest. And then we have to do the same for the for the actions component, essentially. Inside tweet actions, we have this like component. And in here, we want to first and foremost say off user. The reason for that is because this is when you're unliking something and a user cannot unlike something if they're not authenticated. And then in here, we're going to have an off and off and a guest and guest. And then the only difference we do in here is we just go ahead and essentially add no wire click. And then we have the sidebar URL here, which we have a few different issues with. So let's go into the sidebar. First and foremost, you'll see that we have down here we have this profile.show issue. So we can go ahead and essentially put this under an off. And that's where the logout function is, and then we need to just do it where the profile is, which is just here. So let's go ahead and say off and off. And I'm actually going to go ahead and make sure we also cover the, in this case, we can say the notifications page as well. There we go. Now we have the ability to essentially just view it here, and you can see we have this home page. So what else can we do in here? We can go ahead and have a guest button down here to point people to log in. So if we copy and paste this, now in this case we don't really want to have any anchor tag here, so we want to get rid of that. And then we just need to say text center. Oh, sorry, justify center. And let's have a BG blue 500 for now. P5. Text wide. If you go inside your Tailwind config file, we could also just use the dim color. I think maybe that would be better here. So let's just say BG dim 500. And outside of that, this should be for dark mode. Add a little bit less padding. Make the rounded. And maybe also outside of that, before the bottom, we can have a padding of 2. And maybe have a max width of 48. Now let's leave the max width there. So for now this doesn't look perfect, but the point is not really the styling in this case. It's really more just enabling us to log in if we don't have any login details here. We can always go ahead and fix the styling later. So if I log in the Taylor here, you can see the page still works. Currently real time is not enabled, but we can always go ahead and enable that again. So that's essentially the rerun of this course. I'm sorry for the rerun of this episode. I'm sorry for the first episode not having any sound in it. Please hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.